Good day, everybody. Thank you for watching my channel, the two of you that actually do watch it. Today we are going to be smoking a sirloin tip roast. I purchased a half a cow last year, and this is some of the meat. So we're going to do some experimenting. I've usually only done sirloin tips in the slow cooker, so this will be something new. This meat, and I haven't looked at this one to see how much fat is on it, but this is generally a very lean cut of meat. So during this process, I will be basting it with Better Than Bouillon. I'll make this up in my 99-cent squeeze bottle that I bought just for this, because I have two other squeeze bottles, but I usually have oil and water in those, and I don't want to mix that. So this will become my bouillon squeezer that I use for other things, because you're going to want to keep this hydrated excuse me, as you're smoking. And I'm going to season it with two different seasonings, because this one's almost out. This is garlic and herb. And then I'm going to be doing Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse. The sirloin tip makes very, very good steaks after it's smoked. So we're actually going to reverse sear this after we smoke it. And what that means is I'm going to smoke it, then I'm going to heat up my grill, and I'm going to put it on the grill, and we're going to char the outside. All right. So this is going to smoke to about 120 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to be smoking between 325 and 350 degrees on my Masterbuilt propane upright smoker. I usually smoke at about 350 because that's where I get really good smoke. Every smoker has its own personality and traits, and mine smokes really well at 250 degrees is where mine's going to smoke at. Between 225 and 250, but I'll probably be on the higher end at 250 because that's where I get really good smoke. I'll also be using pecan wood with this. That just gives it kind of a nutty flavor. No pun intended, but that's really what it does. Every wood has its own personality as well. So let's open this sucker up. Also, this has been sitting out on my counter all morning. I like to bring up, when I'm making roasts and brisket, I bring them up to as close to room temperature as possible. You don't have to worry about any critters growing inside your meat. It's not going to happen. So we're going to open this up. This is 3.7 pounds, minusing all this packaging and juice that's flowing. As you can see, it's a pretty small roast. This is going to smoke for, I'm guesstimating, 2.5 hours, maybe 3. Do have a little bit of fat on here, but as you can see, this is a really lean piece of meat. So the first thing you want to do with all your meats that you're smoking is dry them off. Excuse me. Meat and moisture and smoking don't mix. So you're going to want to always dry off all your meat before you season it and put it on the smoker. Some of the meats I smoke, like my chicken and my turkey, I put in the fridge before I season them. I want to get them as dry as possible. But with beef, it's not as important. All right, so anytime I do beef, I am very liberal with my seasonings because beef can absorb a lot. I'm a traditionalist. I generally only use salt and pepper on my beef, but I'm trying to branch out and try different things. So I use Buttery Steakhouse on my steaks every once in a while, and this is an amazing seasoning. I get nothing from Kinder's. That's just something I use. So I'm going to coat this really well. I'm going to coat all sides. And remember, anytime you use seasoning, you're going to lose a little bit around the edges. A lot of people use binders. I generally don't use binders. I don't really find that you need it. It sticks, and if I lose a little seasoning, I'm good. I don't want to impart those other flavors because a lot of people use mustard. Occasionally, I'll use a little olive oil as a binder, but that's rare for me. The only time I really use olive oil is on poultry. Alright, so I got some Kinder's butter, and the next thing I'm going to use is some roasted garlic. And I only have a little bit in here, so that's why I'm just going to use it up. Alright, So I used up the rest of my Grill Mates roasted garlic and herb. And anytime I use pre-mixed stuff, I write it down. I keep a little journal, and I'll show you that one of these days. I'm going to make a video about all the little things that I have bought in that I feel are necessary, some that are just nice to have. But the one most important thing is I keep a journal of every time I smoke. And on that journal, I put the cut of meat I'm using, the spices I used, the outside air temperature, the wood I'm using, and the temperature I smoked at, and how long I smoked it for. And then what I do is I go back and reference that, because I find with both my smokers that the air temperature has a huge effect on how it smokes. So I try and I try and account for that. So we got our tiny little piece of meat here, all seasoned up. I did watch one of the people I do follow. He actually uses, when he seasons all his meat, he actually puts it in a tin, so that way it's easier to clean up. But I just like to make a mess when I cook, so my wife will attest to that. She calls me like the human tornado. I just trash the kitchen when I cook. So we have our piece of meat. I'm going to put my trusty thermometer, and it's going to go dead center in the middle. So as you can see, I'm going to measure. I always try and measure it on the outside, and I put my finger approximately where it's going to go into the middle. I want this to be done at approximately 120 degrees. I want it medium rare. And then, because I am going to reverse sear it. So I'm going to season this. It's now nice and seasoned. I'm sorry, I already seasoned it. I'm going to let it sit for about 20 minutes while I get my smoker up to temp and I get lots of smoke going. Also with this piece of meat, you're going to want smoke rolling the whole time it's on. Okay? All right. Thanks for watching this portion. I'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Go.
All right. So we've been sitting for about 20 minutes. As you can see, we have some really good smoke showing and rolling. We've got our good pecan. With this smoke, come on over here. Ooh, all that good smoke. Open her up. Put her on. This out of the way. Put it in my water tray. I do have water in it because this is such a lean piece of meat. I want to keep it as moist as possible. So right now we are at, I just opened it, so the smoker is at 226 and the meat here will start registering shortly. Or I have one probe that's bad, and I think that's when I have in the meat. So we'll have to come back to that in a few minutes. But right now my smoker is climbing. I have it set at 250, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I had a bad probe, so I've changed that out off camera. You don't need to see that. So I just opened my smoker, so obviously it's down in temperature, but the meat is at 40 degrees internal, and it's been sitting out for about 8 hours this morning. I get up bright and early, and it's about 1 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's been out for quite a while, and it's still 41 degrees in the middle. So you don't have to really worry about your meat sitting out and coming up to room temperature. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, so we've been on for about an hour. Open her up here. Try not to melt that. It's our au jus. So, can't really see a whole lot. Sorry about that. Let's see if we can get some light on it. All right, that smoke out. So we got our baste here, just some bouillon. I'm just gonna give this a little squirt. Try and keep some moisture in there. Let it drip down into our water pan. And like I said, when I always smoke, I do other things. So I got some hot dogs and some sausage on here. We're gonna shut that back up, let her smoke some more. Temperature dropped. We're at 90 degrees already. We've only been in an hour, but we were smoking right around 230 degrees. So at 1 hour, we're already at 90 degrees. So this is gonna be done pretty soon. All right, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so we've reached our internal temperature of 120 degrees, which is medium rare. We're gonna open her up. Pull it out here for you. Oh, that's gonna stay in there. So this is what it looks like. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna shut that back up. Excuse me 1 second. I'm just gonna turn my smoker off. All right, so that's off. So as you can see, it's a little bit soft on the outside. I mean, it's not. We don't have a good crust like you would get on a brisket and stuff. So we're gonna reverse sear this. So what that means is I've smoked it, it's in temperature, now I'm gonna put a crust on it. So we're gonna go over here to the grill. I have the grill heated up to about 600 degrees, as you can see, at 600 degrees, and we're just gonna sear the outside. We're gonna let that sear. Pause it. All right, so we got a sear on one side. Look at those nice char marks. That's what you're looking for, nice and charred. All right.
Go.
All right, so we got a nice char going there. I'm going to sear all the corner. I'm going to sear all sides of it. Guess not, because it's burning my hands. So I'm going to take it off. And we're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes. And then I'll see you back on the cutting board. All right, so we have our roast. It's been sitting here for about 6 or 7 minutes. We're about to cut into it. But as you guys know, or the two people that actually watch my videos, I like to smoke a lot of things. When I have my smoker going, I smoke lots of things. So I had some leftover hot dogs. I smoked these for about an hour and a half. They got a nice crisp outside, and they're fully cooked. I did use pecan wood on these, or pecan, or however you say it, depends on where you are from the country in this world. I would not recommend doing hot dogs with pecan wood, or pecans, however you say it, I don't care. I had a bite of one, well, actually I ate a whole one. Who am I kidding? I ate the whole damn thing. So I wouldn't recommend the pecan wood with hot dogs. This is just regular sausage that you buy at the grocery store. It also was in the pecan wood or pecans, whatever. It got some nice smoke flavor. Once again, not the greatest flavor from the pecan wood or pecans or whatever you want to call it. All right. So I wouldn't recommend those using pecan wood or pecans. All right, so let's get to the main event here. All right, so we did a smoke. We smoked for almost 2 hours. We smoked right around 230, 235 degrees is where we were at. Then we reverse seared it, and all that simply means, it sounds like a really cool thing. All it means is we throw it on the grill and get some grill marks on it. So let's cut her open with our handy dandy knife from Amazon and see what it looks like. It should be nice and medium rare on the inside, I'm hoping, because that was the goal. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, that looks amazing. That's what you're looking for. Well, I am anyways, because I love my steaks medium rare. Even though this isn't a steak, but I love my beef medium rare. So normally I don't do this. I don't eat on the video, but I really have to taste this because I've never done one of these before. So I'm going to taste it and I'll give you guys my honest opinion. Looks pretty good. It's a little tough. but it is nice and rare. I'm gonna try another piece just to be sure. Because that was the outside piece. So let's see what the rest of the pieces are like. Supposedly this makes the best roast beef sandwiches. Alright, so for those of you that don't like medium rare, I'm sorry. It was pretty good. It is a little bit tough, but also every piece of meat that we purchased with this cow has been a little bit tough. So I would say that's definitely a hit, and I would definitely do this again. I would highly recommend this. The pecan wood in here does give it a really good flavor. It's my first time using pecan wood on beef. I usually use it on chicken or ribs or pork. I mean, chicken or pork. I've never used it on beef. So I have to say, I do like the pecan wood in here, and the seasonings that I did use, they were very good. So I would say this is a winner. So thank you all for watching, all 2 of you, appreciate it. Thanks for watching Smoke Showing with Jay. And the 2 of you that like it, please tell your friends, and maybe 2 more people will watch the videos. All right, peace, love, and hair grease. So there's a little addition to the video. This has been sitting for about 2 hours, and this is what it looks like all cut up. It is really good. It's hot. Oh, look at all that juice in there. This is gonna make some good vittles. All right, talk to you later.